Good evening, fellow space travelers. What's up? This is Tim. Excuse me as I need a drink. Cheers. Oh, I wish that was stronger than just water. Maybe I'll do that after the video. Hope everybody's well. Filming this after my son's birthday, so I'm a little tired. A lot of effort went into that, and got his birthday party this weekend, so I was able to hash out a little time while the family's sleeping to film another video. Got a pickups video, and actually got a new record, so we're going to go over that in just a second. Wanted to thank everybody who's already entered into my 123 subscribers contest. Just a few days in, and it's already going strong. So if you haven't seen the video on that, go back. Might have been the last one I did. It was as easy as 1, 2, 3. So plenty of time. You got a few weeks to enter, but just want to give everybody thanks who's entered so far, and I'll do an update on that probably in about a week or so. Okay, so first the new record. This just came out. Thank you, Amazon, for screwing up my order. And I had this pre-ordered, and they told me it wasn't going to be available for another month. I don't know why. So I had to go elsewhere to order it. So thank you for that. But that's okay. I got it. I'm happy. About the same price. So Living Colour. This is their third album. This is Stain. And this is a 2018 reissue of the 93 release. Nice gatefold. This one wasn't as commercially successful as the first two, Vivid and Time's Up. Vivid obviously had the big hit, Cult of Personality, and the second album, Time's Up, had the big hit Type. Now this one did have a strong single on it with Leave Me Alone, but it commercially didn't do as well as the other two. I think it's because not only were they trying to evolve their sound, they had changed bassists by the time they got to this one, but in my opinion for the better. But I think there was a lot of disdain for where the current music corporations were going, so they kind of did things on their own, and they were strong enough at that point where they could do things on their own. They dealt with if you look at the image, it deals with a little bit more than just, it's harder hitting in the lyrics. It deals with a lot of issues as far as for depression and alienation, loneliness, in different types of varieties. So with the reissue, they did a limited number in the green vinyl, which I showed, but they also are donating part of the proceeds to help these foundations that help kids deal with some of the feelings they have that can lead to suicide. I think it's a very important topic with everything that's going on in the world, and you see people from all walks of life, from all ages of life, who are battling depression, battling anxiety, who feel that there's no other way out. I battle personally with anxiety, and I do take medicine for it. And it wasn't until recently, within the last few years, that I even knew what anxiety really was and how it really affected somebody. I just thought I had a screw loose, and I just thought that that's the way my brain worked, and I didn't realize that there was a problem. We have depression in the household, so it's something that we battle with on a regular basis, and I think it's very important to know that it's a disease, and people need to get help, whether it be therapy, whether it be medicine. It's a problem, and we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to help each other and not judge. So, great cause, great record. If you haven't heard this record, do yourself a favor and check it out. To me, it's better in some regards, and it's not as strong in other regards as their other two releases, but I think that this is still a very quality album. I've spun it about 3 times since I've had it, and I think that Living Colour really smashed this one. So, want to get that one out there. Now let's talk about the other ones. I posted up a few days ago that I had, a decent stack. I don't know what it was. But my local record store that I visit all the time, Triangle Vinyl, was having a decent sale for Father's Day. $1 records were on sale, $5 records were on sale, which is what I mainly went for. but I wasn't going to miss the chance to pick out some dollar records that were, I think, four for a buck. So, I mean, you're at least going to look. So I took some chances on some of those. Some of them I might have passed on for just $1, but when you're paying a quarter a piece, you're willing to take a chance. You're willing to give it a shot. So we're going to go through those in 2 videos because it's a lot. So first we'll show, this is Les McCann and Eddie Harris. So I'm still trying to expand my jazz horizons. I'm still learning. And this one just kind of jumped out at me. It's a live recording. It's got some decent reviews on it, so I'm willing to give it a chance for that low price. I'm going to try to blow through some of these. Sinatra for a quarter. It's in decent shape. You're going to pick it up. The one that really stood out for me that I was looking forward to hearing on this one was the fact that not only did he cover You Are the Sunshine of My Life, but he also covers Bad Bad Leroy Brown. So I'm willing to give that one a chance for a quarter. Was surprised that this was in the quarter, in the dollar bin, which essentially was a quarter. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young's classic live album, Four-Way Street. Glad to have this one. Great album. I'd heard it before, so I'm glad to finally have that in my collection. I can talk. I really can. Best of BTO so far. You can argue that they left off a couple of their classics, but I mean, there's a couple of really great slammers on this one that I think make it worth it. So I have mentioned before that I am a hip-hop fan, and I've been trying to go back and get a lot of that fun 80s hip-hop. Super Lover C and Casanova Rudd, they had a bigger hit with a song called Super Casanova, but when I was spinning, the song that got them on the dance floor was a song called Do the James. It was a lead-off single for this one on the early independent stuff on, I think it was with the DNA label, before they got picked up with distribution for Elektra. So that's what I picked it up for. And again, it's not gonna burn any houses down as far as quality, but for a buck, why not? I had no Ry Cooder, saw Ry Cooder. I'm gonna pick up Ry Cooder. Obviously, this one's a live one. This one is Showtime, and you know what? I'm not gonna get mad at this kind of stuff. Maybe it's a little bit of filler for some people, but I think it's worth it to kind of just sometimes take a little bit of a chance, especially when you're picking them up at that price. You're just gonna have a little fun with them. Like this one, the cover's not in the greatest of shape, and it's not highly recommended as like one of the best psych albums, but the Incredible String Band. I'm willing to give it a go for a quarter. So decent shape, covers in a little but again, looks like it'll play well. This one I recognize nobody on, but I picked this up strictly for, as I've mentioned before, I'm originally from Maryland, and WIYY, or 98 Rock, is the big Baltimore rock station. And I was shocked. I was just completely floored that there was and I remember that they used to do these like collections of like local music, and they put them out every so often. But to see one here in Central Florida, sure, I'll grab it for a quarter, absolutely. So this was just more for why not? Let's have some fun. And just kind of reminded me, and if I remember correctly, the female on the cover, she was a disc jockey there. I think her name was Sarah. She was, at least the last time I remember, she used to be the midday, like the 10 to whatever. So that's who I remember it is. Hey, Lise. I've been finding some Jimmy Smith. There will be more Jimmy Smith, spoiler alert, in the next video that I shoot based off of this haul. I've actually been finding a lot of Jimmy Smith. Very much, very prolific on the organ. He switched from piano to organ early on. And really just does a great job with it. Brings a unique sound to it. Some of it's more soul and funk-based jazz. Sometimes it's a little bit more straightforward. But I find it very enjoyable, very easy to listen to. So if you are interested, it's a good place. And usually you can find Jimmy Smith records for not that expensive. There's some out there that are considered more classic. So the rest I'm going to show are from the $5 bin that, like I said, were buy one get one. And I gotta be honest, the $5 section there is actually usually pretty good. I found some great stuff there, in decent shape. It might be because okay, there's a little bit of issue with the cover or something like that, but it's usually sometimes you'll find like $10 or $12 records, on the cheap a little bit. Maybe a VG plus, maybe not quite VG, like maybe a VG half a plus. You might see a mark, but it plays right through it. So I'm willing to take chances on some of those, just because I think that there's usually some killer stuff in there, and he usually has good sales on them anyway. So I'm always willing to look in there. That's probably one of the first sections I go to. I have no Damned on vinyl, but now I do. Two record set compilation. Glad to have it. Glad to give it a good spin. Looking forward to it. This one's gonna get played loud and proud, just because. I mean, the band went through so many lineup changes. You're gonna get all kinds of music on this. You're gonna get punk. You're gonna get some of that goth. You're gonna get some of that new wave. So I'm very happy to have that one, and looking forward to giving that one a proper spin. Marshall Tucker Band's debut, and I think it was Chris, Dude 1973. He had just shown a 2 CD set of the Marshall Tucker Band Greatest Hits. And Marshall Tucker is one of those bands that I think that they really fall a little bit more under the radar when it comes to that Southern jam band, Southern rock. Obviously offshoots of like Allman Brothers and stuff like that, but they really did earn their own right to be mentioned in that genre. This one has obviously the big hit "Can't You See," but just a strong band, and when I see them, I'm grabbing them just because I do enjoy listening to them. Finally got some Cannonball Adderley on wax. I'm glad to have it. This is from '75, I want to say it was. Yeah, '75. This one's called Phoenix, and obviously we're gonna get the price tag there. Don't care. But yeah, 2 record set on the Fantasy label, and this is obviously going to be a little bit more into his more fusion phase, a little bit more of the funk influence, a little bit more rock influence from his earlier stuff that he would have done with Miles and Coltrane and stuff like that. But still, fantastic horn player. He's one of those people that if you are interested in jazz, you see him, you buy him. At least that's me. So I'm glad to finally have someone on vinyl. I've seen this one shown around a little bit. This one's the Blues Magoos, the Electric Comic Book. From all intensive purposes that I can see, I think it's an early, or if it's not a first press, it's a very early press on Mercury. And like I said, I've seen this one showed before. It's got a little bit of a cover thing there, but again, when you're paying only a couple bucks, which essentially works out to like $2.50 with the buy one get one, you're gonna jump. Haven't given a lot of these any proper cleaning and spinning yet, but glad to have this one. Didn't get as rated in the psych rock as some of the other ones, but still I've heard good things and definitely wanted to add that one to the collection. Got 2 more. Another glaring hole in my collection is Rory Gallagher. This one's Calling Card. This one's, I want to say, from '74. You would think I would learn how to prep. No, I don't. '76, excuse me. And I've listened to Rory Gallagher. I have no excuse on why I don't have any. Now I do. So hopefully that'll lead me down that wonderful rabbit hole of more. And this one I actually got from a different record store, and happened to be in the area with my wife the other day, and we were going out and about. Like I said, we're on vacation this week and just doing stuff, preparing for the party for my son this weekend, and kind of just making sure we use up all of our PTO days and stuff like that. So we just took this week off to kind of get some things done, and had some curveballs thrown at us that we're trying to deal with. But isn't that life? So, but anyway, we were in the neighborhood of a record store that I hadn't been to here in the area for a while, and couldn't really remember why. And my wife was like, well, didn't you say that their price was a little high? I get it. Everyone's got to have a business, and you got to watch your overhead. And trust me, I did 25 years of profit and loss reports for companies. I understand it. I understand that. But in order to make a profit, you have to turn. And I didn't see it. The businessman, the business mind in me was like, dude, what are you doing? Prices are high. You're disorganized. I'm not going to mention names, but I don't think I'll be going back there much. But he has a value section that's not really curated. It was $2 to $5, and I've seen stuff in there that I see in every other place. It's like $1, maybe two tops. Some of that stuff he wanted five for. And what caught my eye was he was putting out Motley Crue's Theater of Pain. Now I already have that, so I wasn't really that interested. But I looked at the bin over, and I saw that Tesla's Great Radio Controversy. You know what? Instant looked at it, and I saw a couple of marks on it, but they look very superficial. Now the only concern is that this is obviously late 80s vinyl, so it's going to be more mass produced, a little bit thinner. Haven't given it a spin yet, but it looks like it should be okay. It looks like it's just all a couple superficial marks, excuse me. So I'm okay with that. Obviously the big hits, Love Song and Heaven's Gate, Heaven's Trail, No Way Out, as opposed to Heaven's Gate, who drank the Kool-Aid and didn't make it. Been a long day. So anyway, Tesla Great Radio Controversy. Need more Tesla on vinyl. I would kill right now for Mechanical Resonance, but there's my list is, I don't know, the hundreds. I'll get them eventually, or I won't, whatever. So, folks, thank you so much for listening through me babble on about more records than I care to know what to do with and stuff like that. Again, thank you for everybody who's been watching and subscribing and just commenting, liking, sticking up their nose, making funny faces, whatever the case may be. I really do appreciate it. The fact that there are 130 plus of you that are interested to hear what I have to say from time to time. I didn't think I would ever get to this point. I really didn't. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate everything that you guys do. You are absolutely fantastic, each and every one of you, and you make me laugh. You make me smile. And you give me an outlet for talking about this craziness that we call music, that my wife is probably more thankful for than anybody else, because it gets it out of the system and she doesn't have to me spew on about it. Anyway, everybody take care. Have a wonderful evening. I'll talk soon.